So in today's video, we're going to talk all about how to pick a practice management software for your private practice. Sometimes this is referred to as an EHR or EMR. Sometimes it's called a practice management software. And we'll dive into what that means in just a bit. But what we're talking about here is a platform that allows you to run your private practice. So something that allows you to keep client notes, that allows you to hold telehealth sessions, that allows you to bill and submit claims through insurance, that allows you to have a client portal, keep a calendar, all that stuff, right? This is a practice management solution. And I'm really excited because in today's video, we're partnering with Jane, a practice management solution. It's gonna be super informative. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you should be looking for in a practice management solution. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Hit the thumbs up button on this video, only if you want to though. There is no pressure. All right, so let's just dive right into it. So choosing a practice management solution is actually kind of a big deal because it's going to be the foundation of your private practice. It's where you're going to log in every morning to do your work. So before we dive into what to actually look for, let me actually tell you a little bit about the framework and how you should think about a practice management solution. And this is how I think about any tool I'm looking for in my private practice, whether it be a practice management solution or something to help me with insurance, really anything at all. But you want to think about every single service for your private practice as a tool to help you achieve your goals. So what do I mean by that? So let's say in your private practice, right, you have your business, you have your private practice, let's just call it practice A. And practice A, you have a goal of being a virtual practice. You want to accept insurance. You want to run everything digitally. In that sense, you want to think about which tools are going to help you achieve those goals. Now, if we take Jane software as an example, right? Jane has embedded telehealth, right? So you can run telehealth sessions right from Jane. Jane is partnered with a clearinghouse and actually allows you to submit claims to insurance, right? So it checked that off as well. And Jane is accessible anywhere you have an internet connection and is totally HIPAA compliant. So you can run your practice digitally and remotely the way you want to. So you can see in that example, you're not working around the tool, but rather you want to find a tool that meets your needs and helps you achieve your goals. Now let's dive into how to pick a practice management solution. So one of the very first things that you should look for is good customer support. Now, inevitably, you're gonna run into issues. It just is what it is. We all run into problems, right? And nothing is worse than running into an issue and then getting that email back from support saying you have to wait 48 hours for a response.
You can't put me on hold. I'll put you on hold. I am a lineman for the county. Your call is important to us. Please continue to hold.
This is not going to work in private practice, right? Let's say, for example, you can't log into a session that you have in a couple of hours or a couple of minutes, and you can't get a hold of someone in customer support to help you out. This is just not going to work, right? You need good, dependable customer support. And actually, Jane has just that. You're actually able to talk to a human being over at Jane. So if you have issues, you're actually talking to someone. Other platforms, you have to either talk to a robot or you only go back and forth on email, which can be really slow. But over at Jane, you've got high quality customer support and human being talking to you and interacting with you, which in and of itself is far above the competition, right? So you can be sure that when you do run into those issues, you do run into those problems, Jane's customer support is going to be there to help you and answer you, literally answer you on the phone so you can talk with someone and help get that problem resolved as quickly as possible. So definitely look for good customer support. And the way you can do that is by setting up a free consultation. I know over at Jane, you can actually set up a time to do a demo with them and you actually talk to a person during the demo, right? You can actually get a sense of who they are and what they're all about. You can see what their customer support is like as you talk to that person, right? So you're able to already get a sense of what the customer support is going to be like even before having to commit. Make sure, do your vetting. So make sure that you test out the customer support before you ever sign up. The other thing you want to look for is the ability to collect electronic signatures, whether that be on intake documents or notes, something like this. You want to make sure that in your practice management solution, you're able to get signatures not only from yourself as the provider, right? Can you e-sign the document, but can the client e-sign as well? What you don't want is people having to download and open it in a new program and figure out how to sign it, printing, scanning. You don't want that. You want people to simply go on to the internet, click the link you sent them, look at the intake packet, and click a button to sign it. That's what you want. So make sure that that process is easy for clients in the practice management solution you choose. Now with Jane, they actually have a great client portal. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But with a practice management solution like Jane, you can send clients your entire intake packet. And from that link, they're able to read the intake packet and click to sign so you obtain their signature. Next, you want a practice management solution that is customizable. So for example, you want to be able to customize your notes, right? So your note templates, whether that be your individual note-taking template, your group therapy note-taking template, whatever it is you do, intakes, you want to make sure that you can adapt that template to meet your needs. So for example, I consulted with an attorney who gave me different templates for my progress notes, my intakes, that kind of thing. And I wanted to be able to take what the attorney gave me and put it into my practice management solution. So with Jane, you're actually able to do that. You can customize all of your templates, your notes and forms. All of that can be tailored to your unique practice needs and to what you think it should be. You don't want to be stuck with just a generic template that you can't update or fix. You want to be able to make the documents and the templates your own, so that again, it's not just a tool that you work around, but rather it's a tool that works for you. And Jane's software will do just that. You're also going to want a practice management solution with a robust client portal. Now, a client portal is going to have many features, but a couple of the things you want to look for, you want to make sure that in the client portal, you can send clients documents from yourself to them, right? So if you have homework for them or you have forms for them to review, you want to be able to send clients documents in a HIPAA compliant way. So in Jane's portal, you can actually upload documents like homework and send it to a client so that they can look at it and download it. You also want a client portal where clients can actually schedule appointments with you, right? And so Jane's client portal is really good with online scheduling. They've really designed it to maximize the productivity and efficiency of the practice. Their whole theory is that they don't want any clinician's time wasted. So you can set all sorts of parameters within Jane so that when a client goes into the portal and they look at the availability on the calendar, it's really tailored to exactly what you want. So you can customize how far in advance clients are able to schedule, how long the appointment is that they schedule, how many minutes are between sessions when you do schedule online. And so you really have no time wasted with online scheduling through Jane's software, which is really, really great, because a lot of times in private practice, we end up with a lot of wasted time, like in between sessions, or if a client schedules a 60-minute session, but it's only 45. I mean, it gets all sorts of confusing, but Jane's software is going to eliminate all those problems, and they're going to make it so that you can do this through the online portal, which makes it so simple. You set everything as the clinician on your end, so then when the client goes into the portal, they're able to just simply click the appointment that's available. It goes right into the clinician's schedule. There's no missed sessions, there's no wasted time, and you can remain efficient and effective in your private practice. A couple other things Jane Portal also allows, it allows for people to update credit card and payment info. It allows them to pay balances right from their end, so they can log into their client portal and pay whatever balance they might have, right? So these are really great as well. It also gives the client an ability to set reminders within the portal so that they get either texts or emails, things like that, to remind them of appointments. It also allows them to see all their appointment history, so this is really helpful. So there's a lot of features packed into the client portal that Jane offers. And this is a really great feature, right? So it not only is good for you as the practitioner, but then when a client actually has access to something like a portal, it really gives your practice the extra oomph that gives it like, yeah, like, wow, you know, my practice actually has like an online portal. You think that like only big hospitals and institutions have like online portals, right? But no, with Jane, even small private practices like you and me can have access to a really cool high-tech portal that clients can enjoy and use. Now, another thing you want to look for is the ability to submit insurance claims directly in the practice management software you are using. Now, I know some people say they're going to only be cash pay. This might change at some point, right? So you might be cash pay and then want to do insurance, or vice versa, whatever it may be. But it is my suggestion that you have a tool that can at least handle insurance claims, right? Let's say, for example, you start as a solo practice, you're all cash pay, it's going well. Then you say, hey, I want to hire someone. And then you're like, well, it's a little bit harder to hire people and still be cash pay as we grow. So I want to take insurance. Well, then it's going to be a really good idea to make sure that your practice management tool can actually submit the claims, right? This just gives you an idea of why you want this. Now there's a whole separate video about how to submit claims and manage insurance inside of your practice management solution. I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. And so within Jane software, you can actually submit insurance claims directly from the platform, right? So you see a client, you hit a couple buttons, and boom, the claim gets sent off to the clearinghouse because they're partnered with a clearinghouse. And then the status of that claim, so whether it gets accepted, denied, whatever it may be, gets populated directly back into Jane's tool and then applied to the particular session on the calendar. It just makes things so simple. And this one sounds kind of obvious, but you want to make sure the tool you chooses has a good calendar. Is it something that visually looks good and is organized, something that's easy to navigate? And this is because the calendar is really like the backbone of your private practice, right? That is where appointments are. It's usually where you take note. It's usually where you add how much the session costs. The calendar is like how we function as private practitioners, right? So a calendar is super important. So when you're using a free trial, make sure you like the calendar. Make sure the features work for you. Make sure it's laid out nicely. And I don't think you'll be disappointed by Jane's calendar. It looks really nice. It's intuitive. It's easy to navigate. It's a great tool. And we've already touched on this a little bit, but make sure that the practice management tool you choose is also intuitive for the clients as well, because you are only half the experience, right? Clients also have to log into online sessions if you're doing online. They have to be able to pay balances if that's something you're doing. They have to be able to get reminders. So you want to make sure that the tool that you choose also works for them. And so when you do practice demos, I know Jane allows for this, you're actually able to see the client side of things as well, right? So when you do a demo, make sure you test it out from the client's perspective to see if it's user friendly. You want it to be like really simple for a client to log onto an appointment. You want it to be really simple for them to schedule an appointment with you on your portal, right? That kind of thing. And so with Jane's tools, it's actually really simple from the client side. Just a couple clicks to sign forms, just a couple clicks to get onto the portal, just a couple clicks to schedule. Really seamless, not much room for error, which is really, really great. And just a couple other things to keep in mind when choosing a practice management tool. And the first is that things are always changing. The platforms that we're talking about are typically softwares. So there's a whole team of developers that are usually changing features, updating features, responding to customers' needs. So whatever you see today will most likely evolve in the next couple weeks, months, years. They're always changing. So if there's a feature that you really want but you don't see, be open about asking. Ask the people, ask the onboarding people, ask the people who are doing the free consultation, when do you see this feature coming out? And this is one thing I really like about Jane. They're really responsive to their community and they're really open about the features they're putting out. And this is really, really helpful because we want to be informed consumers. So to know what features are in the pipeline, what's coming out, what they're working on, and to know that the software actually responds to our needs and concerns is really helpful. That would help me make a decision because I know that they're listening to me. If I have an issue, they'll fix it, right? If I have a request, perhaps they'll take it into consideration on their next update. And Jane does just that, which is really, really awesome. Anyway, these are some of the things you should really look out for in a practice management solution. And if you're interested in checking out Jane for yourself, there'll be a link down below in the description. You can use code MatthewLCSW at checkout for 1 month free, so you can give it a try for yourself. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you learned something. At the very least, I hope it inspires you to thrive in private practice. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you soon.